What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rikishi Driver first ever podcast episode. Obviously, I am not Rikishi, but I am here with Rikishi himself. My name is Humza Mania, Sir Hall of Fame Rikishi below me, and I got Etzioni, my tag team partner, on the side. How's everyone doing today?
Fantastic, man. How's it going there? How you doing, Brooklyn? Daniel,
And
Brooklyn, what's going on?
cannot complain whatsoever. I'm here with Keish. I'm here with Humza. What else would I rather be doing on a Friday night? Topping off a great week at KnokX Pro. Am I right?
Yeah,
You are
absolutely.
absolutely right.
So how was you boys' weekend this weekend? Starting first with you, Hamza.
The
How was
weekend
your
was
week?
great. My week in general was great. You know why, right? Because the I Am Wrestling show went live, and I've been working on that with you guys for such a long time. And with
Yeah.
everything happening in the world right now, just getting something to do, man, I feel blessed. I cannot be happier.
Yeah, so I'm going to come back around and tap on to that because we got a lot of great feedback. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Again, with Knox Pro, everything is academy, and I'm always saying it's always a learning experience. So I want to tap onto you, Brooklyn and Daniel. How did you feel out there live on TV? Was there any pressure?
It's a moment that I've been thinking about since I've been 12 years old. And
Yeah.
to finally take that first step in my career after, just putting all the work we've done in KnokX Pro and whatnot and getting this off the ground, everyone pitching in and, getting I Am Wrestling to be what it was. And we had such a great first show. It was a lot less pressure than I thought it was just because, we all have such passion for what we do, and that I think eases the pressure because I just got in there. It was kind of like natural, so I felt great about it.
Well, I'm sure working with Reno, Count Black Pearl, aka Count Black Pearl.
Shout out Black
He's
Pearl.
always in you boys' ears all the time. But it's funny when I come to the domain, man, and I see everybody. It's kind of like hectic, but at the same time, it's that social distancing. You're yelling to wear your mask and everything. So, how does that feel now? I know for me, man. I mean, it's just it's a different vibe now in professional wrestling. Like, I mean, the arenas and everything is shut down. There are not too many. I feel for a lot of the independent workers that are out there. Those that are working for WWE, AEW, and I mean, they got their contracts. That weekly paychecks keeps coming in. But what is it about for what is it about for the independent workers? Because not too many promoters are taking the chance on difficult to run in-house shows and so forth. An independent circuit, we run shows wherever, at the parking lot, in the damn Red Barn, wherever we can. But now with social distancing, it is very difficult, which brings me back to KnokX Pro Academy. I can't tell you how proud I am of you kids. And the whole staff of KnokX Pro. I mean, we've seen through the photos of KnokX Pro Entertainment, on Facebook, on Instagram. The social media crews always posting the unfold of the new world famous domain. I mean, we've done so much work. It's been like 4 months, come from a plain building to what it is today with with the outstanding production lights with Mike Marcos. Big shout out to Marcos, our production guy at KnokX Pro. I mean, all that, and just how the whole domain unfold. I was so proud to see you kids, on TV live on Facebook. Man, how did you guys feel? Starting off with Hamza, how did you feel? I'm sure your family in Pakistan, did they get to see you on there or what?
They loved it. They loved every second of it. So Pakistan is actually picking up wrestling newly right now. To them, it's a whole new concept. It's something they're loving and they're enjoying. So when they saw me be able to get on board with somebody like KnokX Pro's domain and the Samoan Dynasty and be able to perfect my craft and talk about wrestling, man, everyone was excited. And I gotta say, coming from a Muslim background, we know what it is to have strict parents, right? Man, but Reno is much stricter than my strictest parents. Like he helped sharpen my
That's because he
skills.
loves. That's because he loves. He wants perfection out of you guys.
Hey, during the process, I did not know what was going on. I was beating my head up like, what's going on? And at the end, when the end result came out so beautiful and so well done, that's what I always for. And it's just so much hard work paying off. It's really the best feeling I could have.
Right, and we talk about KnokX Pro. It's like access, opportunity, exposure. So what has KnokX Pro for you, Hamza? I understand that, while you were training here, other doors opened up for you, right? And now you're doing, I'll let you explain to the fans. The domino effect.
That's a great segue, considering that we're doing this right now, because this is full circle, right? And that's exactly what it is. Just being with KnokX Pro and being able to learn from them and understanding what's going on. The trainers see what you're good at, and they know exactly where to place you. My mouth, you guys know, my mouth moves. It goes, and
you're very good at it. You're very good at it.
Talking. One day, I'm at KnokX Pro. Reno said to me specifically, "Can you stay back to help out some people coming by?" And the people coming by just happened to be X-Pac Hall of Famer, along with the owner of AfterBuzz TV podcast studio, Maria Menounos. And when they came in, right? Yes, shout out to them, man. They came in, they were wonderful to work with. I followed every instruction I was given by my trainers. They loved me at the end of it because I was able to work with them and everything like that. Let her know that I love podcasting. And literally the next day, they hired me on board to start my own NXT podcast.
Were you like nervous, like being there in the ring with them, or did you take a few bumps?
I did not take any bumps. Remember I was green at that time, and the recommendation was, if you don't know how to do something, don't do it. So I was put in a lot of submission holds. Sonya Deville was there, and she ended up giving me some knees. She was very safe to work with. A couple of snap mares, but it was just a fun time overall. For someone that's never wrestled before, to get in the ring with those people, like, that was just a dream come true for me.
Wow, that's awesome, man. And what about you there, Brooklyn Daniel? How did you feel the day that we went live out of KnokX Pro Entertainment to the world, man, on Facebook?
I mean, it was just an amazing feeling, just because, I stepped inside the KnokX Pro ring first time ever, April 2019, and just, to see how far we've all come and how close we've grown as just a family. Like, I'm everyone knows I'm from New York City, but moved out here 4 years ago, and I really felt like I found my family when I joined KnokX Pro. So just to see us all kind of win together and knock it out of the park with the first broadcast, it was the greatest feeling in the world. It was because not only was it great for me, not only was it so personal for me, but just as a community of KnokX Pro, like it was the greatest thing in the world. I can't even explain it.
Well, for me, it's like I'm sure I can speak for this on Reno. Hopefully he'll jump on here after he was cooking. What was he cooking? Steak and cutting up onions? I think he was wiping his eyes, like onions were flying in his eyes. I tried to rib him and get him on here, but he said, no, I'm not going to come on until after he finished cooking. Probably don't want to show us the burnt steak he's probably cooking. But I'd eat it anyway. So.
Shots fired.
The Samoan Martha Stewart.
Hey, so let's kind of give the people a little inside vibe of what we do there at KnokX Pro. I mean, you tap on us being a family, and everything starts from the top. We believe, like in KnokX Pro, like you eliminate cancer in the group, eliminate all negativity. Those that just somewhat don't get it or think they come in with a different attitude. We don't give up on them. We still try to break them down to let them understand that they're safe here with us. That there's no working. You know what I mean? Meaning. We get it. Everybody, I always say this to you kids and those that have come through, that what right do we have to take that kid's dream away by just treating him like shit? You know what I mean? And so everybody comes through. I was the same way. When I walked through the doors of my uncle's back in the day, very nervous, didn't know what to expect. I knew I wanted to learn. I knew I wanted to, to try to, learn the business and learn how to be learn my fundamentals, but I didn't know what to expect. And these things here is like, when you have, kids that comes through, with, the passion to be able to learn the business, but then there's the attitudes and so forth, like, because you feel like you came from other places, you've been training for 10 years, but how do we know that the training for 10 years was correct training? Was proper training, and meaning that we can't let you in the ring with other people, students that are in there, and because you throw that weight that you've been training for 10 years, but once you get in with the students here, and you turn around, we can easily tell if they're smart workers by what we're looking at: their stepping, their footing, right? We're looking at as soon as we lock up, if it's too tight, too too loose. We can tell all that. It's like how you kids were taught. But at the end of the day, we don't give up on everybody. The door is wide open for them to come through it. But I damn sure missed the full classes. I miss all of you kids. I mean, we have our weekly film class, that we do. How does that help you when we have the film class that we do together? Started with Humza.
Big time. Like, one thing is, it's one thing to get in the ring and train, right? That's fun. It's exercise. You get your body moving and stuff, but your brain needs to also work. That's the one thing about wrestling a lot of people don't understand. You have to be sharp. Your brain has to be working at all times. People are coming at you from all directions. So when we do these group classes, I enjoy it because I get to break down a match and I get to see it from a wrestler's eye. So I can pick up what I'm watching versus from a fan's eye. Along with that, when I hear my teammates give their input, especially some of the veteran ones, I learned the most from them because they show me things that I wasn't even paying attention to.
Right. And you, Dan, Brooklyn, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, Humza hit the nail right on the head, but I kudos to KnokX Pro again, just always adapting, because I feel like we've learned just as much in the last 4 months through these film classes as we have when we're in the ring training. It's a great supplement. Again, piggybacking off Humza, we learned so much about the psychology, and just hearing everyone break down the match and then hearing your feedback as someone who's been in this industry for over 30 years, just it helps you see wrestling in a different way. And because we all have such a deep admiration for professional wrestling, just seeing it from a different angle is always so unique, because it's something that all fans think they know everything about, but when you hear it getting broken down from someone like, as experienced as Rikishi, like, you look at it in a completely different light, and it just opens you up to so much more. So I think, we've been doing great the last couple of months.
Yeah, I'd say it's been definitely a learning experience for all of us. We always use that word at the academy. It's adapt, right? Adapt. It's like the way of life it is today. I'm sure people, as I am too, and I'm sure you kids are the same way. We're just bored out of our minds right now. With the world, the way the world's going is, damn if you do wear a mask, damn if you don't wear a mask. You get heat either way. But at the same time, safety, right? We got to be safe, and you definitely don't want to get other people sick, and you don't want. I feel some type of way when I go shopping now. Yep. It's like my wife yells at me to put on the mask, right? So I put on the mask. I follow instructions. I walk in there, but now when I walk into the supermarket, man, it's a different vibe in there.
Yep.
People are like, they stare at you like it's WrestleMania getting ready to get it all. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man, I'm just coming in here to get a couple of steaks, man. I'll be out of here real quick. But it's so crazy. Like, the training for me, and just passing it on to you kids with myself and Reno, and now Rusev is with us, right? So now you guys, all this training, it's the training that we learned from Professor Wrestling. It really helps domino effect into adapting into world of life outside the ring.
Absolutely, 100%.
Just be a nice person. We smile at a lot of the drama that comes towards our way. We go on about our business. Let me get what I need to, and then I'm back into containment. And here we are talking right here. Social distancing, and we're still having fun together,
Exactly.
Yep. That was actually the number one thing about going back to KnokX Pro during this quarantine time, is how well the system's been set up for us to be sanitized when we walk in, temperature checked. Yeah. There's different rooms that we station ourselves in before the one person comes in to do their training. So I felt comfortable coming back, and that's the one thing. Like, I feel more comfortable there than I do in my own apartment by myself, right? So it's a job well done, in my opinion.
I'm sorry to laugh at I was just thinking in my head when you're talking about sanitize. The last time, the normal is you sanitize when you come out the damn restroom, right? That's when I sanitize, when I go out the restroom, right? You've been dropping those Rikishi bombs. I gotta wash my hands. But now, it's like you come through the KnokX Pro doors or whatever doors. We come through there. There's the board. There's a freaking temperature thing. There's hands. I get it. It's all good. It's all love. It's all safety for us to stay within the guidelines of what's going on here. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, and at the same time, we continue to kind of move forward as best as we can. But listen, man, congratulations.
Thank you.
You two have killed it on Tuesday, man. I mean, like I said, I was sitting downstairs in the office, just kind of being on the sidelines, I felt like I was green, like I was being treated like a new kid. Like Reno's like, you
don't
sit
touch
right
that.
there.
Don't touch that.
I'm like, hey, is there anything I can do? Reno's like, no, we got it. The kids got it there.
Yeah.
And then once the show went live, man, you guys freaking killed it out there, man. How was that vibe, dude? I mean, what's it with you two? Which one's the heel? Which one's the baby face? Because
I'm nice. That guy's mean. That guy's mean.
Mean is a strong word.
That is kind of like a suave Brooklyn type of,
I don't think Dan loves his Dan. Dan just loves Dan. That's all it is. As long as the camera's on Dan, Dan's feeling himself. That's who Dan is.
Exactly.
Thank you for wearing a shirt.
Look in the mirror. You're welcome. You're welcome. It took a lot of convincing, but I do anything for Kishi. So I threw the shirt on.
And pants are optional at this point, right? Because you can't see below. Okay.
Work from home, baby. Work from home.
So,
got used to it.
Because we have fans that are tuning in and watching right now. You boys there. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are out there that want to pursue or question about, what does it feel like to be able to finally come into the wrestling industry. And being, one of the boys, not so much of a fan. Well, I'll always be a fan of the industry. It's very hard to take that away from you. But in order for you to kind of understand the business from the inside out, you have to be able to be the boys in here to understand, what it really is. And so when you guys knew, like 5 minutes before we get ready to go live, was there any type of talks between you two, or how did you guys prep up for that?
We're
gonna do it, man. This is no holds bar right now. I'm
gonna let you go.
All right. So me personally, like I've done stand-up comedy before, right? So I know how it is to get in front of a crowd and be able to make my way to the end without dying. And one thing I learned is if you have fun with it, practice. But the day of, just have fun with it, enjoy yourselves, laugh. Just be excited, have that energy flowing through you. Everything will come out naturally. Very similar to us taking bumps in the ring or taking moves in the ring, right? We do it over and over again to where our mouths are moving in the same way. We're saying the same things and we have our script down the way we need to have it down, but fluid enough to where we can work with each other. And then me and Dan, man, we become the best of friends over the last 6-7 months. So it's just easy. It's easy when you work with people you like.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Dan?
Yeah. I was definitely a little bit more neurotic than Humza was. I was definitely a little bit more nervous. Like I had a full notebook with notes and everything, just the stuff I wanted to make sure I touched on. But, it was like all the preparation was like, it was just like I wanted to knock it out of the park for this moment. But once the camera started rolling and once the show started going, it was just natural. It flowed. I hit, we kind of just hit on all the points we wanted to talk about because, again, like we have such a passion for this. Everyone at KnokX Pro does. So it was easy to just kind of go and, the chemistry between Humza and I has always been there. And, I'm glad people were so receptive to it last time. So,
So let's, that's awesome, man. Sounds like under pressure, but no pressure. Once you utilize your training and you go back, to your fundamentals, as if Reno's talking to one ear and I'm talking to the other ear and Miro talking on the top here to you guys. I mean, there's no way you kids can go wrong. So let's tap onto the match there. Like we had Maverick, right?
Real McKeel, right?
She changed his name on there, huh?
Yeah.
So Real McKeel changed his outfit and everything, which kind of looks pretty cool,
Yeah.
I'll get
Quarantine has changed the man. Yeah, Quarantine has changed the man. Yeah.
Then it was old Psycho Stu. He's been around with us for a minute, right? Shout out to Psycho for being in the service and so forth. So, and then we have Big Bruce.
Yeah.
Right?
Toa Leona.
Wow. You imagine what type of pressure he had being that was his debut, right?
Ooh,
Got all his weightlifting buddies from San Diego, all his family members up in San Jose.
Hey.
I mean, he couldn't do nothing wrong in there. Everything had to be on point, you know.
Yeah.
And then there was another cat that I met for the first time, which I said I would never call another man Juicy, but I'll just call him this one time because that's what his Instagram says. Juicy now.
Juicy now.
Yeah, which is a Topo Uso, And listen, I'm all for, like, when I seen this guy, I start to think, like, man, I hope he can move.
Yeah.
And then I caught myself thinking, like, damn, this is what people used to think about me back in the day when they see me like
wow.
Right.
Right?
That's
and then once when I met this kid in the domain, he was such a humble cat. And it just makes you like, I knew once when I talked to him and I met him like that, I knew for me, and I like Dr. Reno about this, I says, this kid here is going to be a star. Everybody looks at him when we see his body, he's not too well in shape, but this kid here is 6'4". He's every bit of, I want to say close to, 385 maybe.
Yeah,
but
he's a 405.
405, but the way this cat moves, he's real light. He's real light on his feet for a guy his size.
Right.
So that's why I'm just saying when I talked to him, I was like, I'm not going to be calling no other man Juicy. Right? He's built like a monster, so we got to come up with some type of name that fits this guy here, which we'll get together back in the office and kind of hashtag out, see what fits. But he's an unbelievable athlete. I was so happy, not so much for Maverick and Psycho Stuart Smith. I mean, the OGs there, they've been there for a minute, so I'm sure they didn't have any pressure, right? But for these guys here, first time, Bruce having his debut, and then Finau coming the first time on KnokX Pro and going live. I mean, I think there was a lot more pressure for them. I was very happy for them that day. What were your thoughts on that, Humza?
I loved every aspect of it. I thought the guys brought it. They definitely, everyone put it all out there. You can tell they all put their best efforts into it. They put a lot of practice into it. They did a lot of promotions on it. I saw both their all their Instagrams were just blowing up with flyers, left, right. Juicy, we can call him Mr. Thicker Than a Snicker because that's funny to me. Juicy. He comes in, I'm Juicy. I'm like, cool, let's call you Juicy, brother. That's great. But he's a powerhouse. The dude's a powerhouse. He's agile.
Dude, he looks mean. Shit. He looks mean when you see him.
Yeah.
When you see this guy in person, he looks like a dude that'll rip your head off.
Right.
Yeah.
But when he talks to you,
teddy bear.
Man, he's such a hey, that's that Polynesian culture, right?
Hey, right? Charisma.
Don't judge the book by its cover. You know what I mean? So what were your thoughts there, Dan? Brooklyn?
I thought they, Bruce and Juicy just knocked it out of the park, especially when both of them just first got in. Like, I remember just seeing Bruce and just getting in the ring, and the first 5 minutes, he was just going like a freight train. It was amazing. And, we've been training with Bruce for quite some time now, and just to see him have that moment was great. Mav and Stu are always just tremendous. And Juicy, again, the guy is 400 pounds. Like you said before, He looks like he could tear your head off. But he was moving and he looked great. It was an awesome first match to call. I really, really enjoyed it.
I definitely would doubt now, for a guy that size, also Bruce as well. And just everybody that comes on our live show now, it's going to put eyes on them to be able to have eyes from WWE, hopefully, or AEW, hopefully. Our thing is that, to be able to have them see a lot of the independent wrestlers, because where are they going now?
Right.
Like, what are they doing? Promoters are not flying them anywhere. They're not having any shows. So I would think that, it's a good thing for everybody, really, especially those that independent wrestlers, they don't, we don't get those, they don't get those weekly paychecks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's what they make is what they sell at the you know, from the promoters, what they make from the promoters at the show guaranteed. Sometimes it's not a big guarantee, but it's their grind with their merchandise, which brings it to the crowd.
Right.
Right. So now it's like there's no crowd. There's no. So I think that, you know, this can be definitely a win-win situation for, you know, the independent. I feel for the independent wrestlers. You know, at one time we were all like that. You know what I mean? You have to start from something to be able to get to where you're going or where you're at. And, you know, unfortunately for a lot of independents now with the pandemic that hit, it's going, 6 months now? I think it is, right?
Yeah, it's about
6 months. Can you imagine independent wrestlers out there not doing a damn thing out there? No place to go sell your merchandise, no place to go meet and greet to, you know, have fans. And if you are doing a meet and greet on virtual like this, well, you better have some type of name.
Yep.
Right? Otherwise, will fan come through there? But for independent wrestlers, man, they, you know, they depend solely right then and there at the house shows, right? And so with what I like about what we're doing now, it's like we got, you know, we got the domain is wide open to be able to put eyes on anybody that we see fit. So, you know, shout out to all the independent wrestlers that are out there. You know, you guys, you know, adapt, you know what I mean? To try to make the best out of, you know, what you can for the time being. In the meantime, hit me up, you know, hit me up. I'd like to put eyes on you as well. Yeah. All right. So, so what's let's try something new here. Let's, Humza, do we have any questions in there, or we got fans in there?
We do have a few fan questions. Let me see what I can bring up here, because there's quite a few. A lot of them are just being friendly and just saying, you know, have a great day. I love this and stuff. But, you know, let's see.
Let's give them a shout out. Let's give them all a shout out there.
So, Arinda.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It just says Arinda right below us right now, just asking you how life is these days and when you're going to come back to Alaska.
Oh, Lord. Well, first of all, I don't like the cold. I like Alaska. I love the seafood. I love the people out there. But I think I'm going to hang out here in LA for a little bit.
Stay a little warm.
I kind of like the warm weather. But shout out to Alaska out there and Linda. I appreciate the comment and everything. But
I have a good one from Steve. I have a good one from Steve. Are you ready? I like this one. So my childhood is all coming back to me. Samalo Uso, shout out from the Samoan fans here in Las Vegas.
Okay. Talofa Uso, vaftai lava malo for Mike. Yeah, manguia so in Las Vegas. Lofa le ko pui fale leo ko malainga. Lofa vaftai.
All right, somebody ask a question in Urdu so I can respond to in my language.
Okay.
Yeah. Try this one.
Sure. Show off.
So, do you have
any
big
think I can speak Samoan, right? Go ahead.
Do you have any big activities coming in the next few weeks or months that you'd like to speak about?
Oh, well, yeah. I actually, that's to me, I guess, right? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do. I have my first virtual online signing will be tomorrow with the Asylum. I'm actually putting up, you know, I'm giving some of the stuff that I thought that I wouldn't never put out there. But, you know, my wife seems to look at it like it's collecting dust. I look at it like it's history. Yep. And so, but I just thought, you know, listen, you know, we're going through hard times right now, the fans, everybody. So I tend to, you know, on my personal page out there, or I think it's on this one as well, that, you know, I put up some ring-worn Attitude Era. There's, I think I'm only going to let go 5 thongs for now. 3 already sold.
Wow.
At $500 a pop.
Woo!
And so, yeah, and I, you know, I did a video earlier. You know, I even smelled the crotch of the thong. It smells good. So that's good. You know, and I got like some kick pads, you know, with my name on there. I even got the long Rikishi, my long Rikishi skirt. Nice. There was one, the logo on there like this. Let me explain about. So my gear with the logo on there and the skirt, if you see the logo on there, that logo, when you look back to Yokozuna's robe, you know, when Yoko passed away, I cut that logo out of his kimono,
Ooh,
and that logo has been on every single one of my Rikishi skirts, and so it's really like I got tons of them. You know what I mean? I kind of kept the ones that is favorite to me, but I also the ones that I am letting go. They are my personal. I probably wear them one time and so forth. But those pieces that are out there that I'm getting ready to put up tomorrow, it has various. They're very. Uh, uh, it means a lot to me. You know, and the people that are with the asylum, which is the guy in charge of Rocky Turner, which I repost some of his stuff. I mentioned to him on there that for my things there, I would like it to go to somebody that's going to take care of them, and so we do have a few buyers on there, the serious inquiries only, right? And,
right.
he promised that he would take care of them and, put it up in a museum and so forth, and which makes me happy. I didn't want anybody just to buy them and throw them underneath the closet or,
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
They
Collect,
mean something, right?
yeah, they mean something. And so it's very hard for me to kind of let them go. But in the on the other side, I'm happy that it's making some of the fans happy, because
Absolutely.
I would never. I mean, and I got thongs that are going, I got kick pads that are going, I got Rikishi belts that are going, the ones that I
Yeah.
ring worn. So most of this stuff here comes from my Attitude Era days. And then I also have one of those Rikishi Halloween masks, which they only made those. They only made those once, so I got 3 of those that I'm willing to let go.
That's
And then of
awesome.
course there's all autographed pictures, the authentic copy prints that when I used to work for WWF back in the day. I had the Make a Difference.
Right.
Before there was Doink, there was Rikishi with all the colors.
Yep.
So I got those prints right there as well. So make sure everybody can tune in tomorrow if they're watching. You might be a lucky fan to be able to purchase one of these authentic items, and you can go on to the AsylumWrestlingStore.com. That's the AsylumWrestlingStore.com, and it'll be live here tomorrow on Facebook at 6 p.m. Eastern time, which means 3 p.m. West Coast. So there's my plug for tomorrow, and that's my event. It's my first 2020 event, so I'm looking forward to having a whole bunch of the fans come through the meet and greet. I'm just excited that I can see a lot of my fans again, and to be able to talk to them and so forth. So
Okay.
I'm very excited tomorrow.
Did you want to take a few more questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I like this one. So Tim wants to know, what's one of your favorite moments from your career?
Well, let me see here. I'd have to say it would be the Madison Square Garden when we decided to bust a move in the Royal Rumble. Who does that? Rikishi, Grandmaster, and Scotty Tuhati does. Royal Rumbles, everybody gets in there, and every man for themselves. And there's freaking 18,000 people strong, and the mecca of professional wrestling. When you get to Madison Square Garden, you would think that, okay, this is where it's go time. Oh no, let's go ahead and dance. Let's just bust a move. We didn't even have to take a bump.
If you that's funny you mentioned that one, because I actually watched that today right before we jumped on, and I was laughing at that part where we just stopped and let's break down and have a dance battle right here.
Yeah.
I mean, those type of things, when you feel things like that, you just, that opportunity comes, go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it
Yes,
just,
sir.
those are one of the things that are, this must, my goodness, what is this, 17, 20 years ago, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And it's still,
it was 2000.
yeah, it's still the talk about it until today. It's like, it's those type of things that, you do in professional wrestling that fans will remember for the rest of their lives,
Forever.
And I'm always so, I can say this now that I probably don't say it enough, but I definitely miss all the fans that are out there. You know, I miss the meet and greet. I miss shaking hands. I miss performing in front of all of them. But I right now, I enjoy my life now, being home with my family, being home with you kids at, KnokX Pro Academy. I always say that, besides my family, you kids keep my heart pumping. Like there's always a purpose for me to continue to live. You know what I mean? And, we want to pass on the knowledge for not only myself, but my entire Samoan Dynasty family. It's just all that knowledge together. We try to bring it under one roof. So it's our culture, it's our smarts in the business, it's the in and out, your ring skills, in and out the business, the domino effect into your personal life, how professional wrestling can really, really help you, to move on. And some people make it in this business, and we're always straightforward with that. Some of you will make it in this business, some of you will not make it in this business.
Right.
And just because you don't make it, it doesn't mean that, okay, this is the end of the road. Like maybe taking bumps wasn't your call.
Right.
Maybe you were supposed to be a commentator, or maybe you're supposed to be back in production. Maybe you're supposed to be, one of the producers, whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is they all come to KnokX Pro because, for one thing, we all love professional wrestling.
Yep.
We love it. We love it. We love it. And so we always try to put the person in their strong point where they need to go in the industry. You know what I mean? And some kids, they don't like to take no for that answer. And our job is to give you the best advice.
Right.
Right? Like, I get it, dude. You want to be a pro wrestler, but damn it, you're the shits. You can't. I mean, your timing is off. We've been working at it for a long time. But listen, you got a good freaking. You're a good manager. Like, you have that gift for some reason in that area. We can see that. And so once we get it to where we make them understand, you got to put yourself where you fit in. And then once you get in the mix, now once you get into the big show, you might be able, maybe they might want you to become a pro wrestler. By that time, you already know how to take the bumps and everything. But it took you to come in as a manager to open that door.
Right.
Now it opens domino effect into you. The other opportunity, which you originally came for, was to be a wrestler. But hey, if you're in WWE or AEW as a manager and ain't got to take no bumps, I recommend you shut your mouth and collect your weekly paycheck. Right?
Always the best advice.
Yes, love it.
Always the best advice.
We tell you, right? Those freaking that ring wins every night, right?
Every night. Every night.
Those four corner poles, they don't sell at all, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, you mentioned that you are okay with now being away from the ring. You're living your life right now. But Sandra had a pretty interesting question. She asked, if you had one more time in the ring, who would you wrestle?
Roman Reigns. I didn't even think. I didn't even have to think out of that. The dome of my head.
Yep.
Why? It would be great business. Why? People would want to see it. I'd call it a dream match because you're probably only going to see it one time. Right? And that's what our family likes to do. We like to give you something that you never seen before, whatever that is. I mean, there is so many of us. We learn just to change with the times, but the psychology that runs into this culture and this family of ours will never change.
Never.
Will always be like, I always say theatrical movement, right? Psychology-wise, longevity, right? It's not you flying all over the place. If you can do that, God bless you. You can. But I guarantee you that you're not going to be one of flying all that for 207 days out the year, right?
Right.
I'd rather just back that ass up and give him a stink face. I can do that. I can do that till 60. Right? So
absolutely,
it's those type of things those type of smarts is what we throw out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can even, I'm not even gonna say the names of few people that are very, very successful in the industry. They know who they are, and I'm going to keep them with this word, how we're all attached, longevity.
Longevity,
and
absolutely.
So, I'll have them pop my name up one day in their interviews. So but that's that. Let's go ahead and take a few questions. Go ahead.
Here's something interesting. Well, this is somebody we all know, but which dynasty do you think will rep the Samoan dynasty on Saturday, the 8th, when they take on El Mysterioso?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. We have my nephew Lance Fatu. I'm sorry, Lance on White. You know, my cousin, my first cousin Samu's son. Man, who knows? It could be Lance. It could probably be the Samoan Werewolf. You know, MLW's champion. It might be maybe Sefa Fatu. I mean, hell, it might even be Rikishi.
That'd be
maybe
the best.
The Tonkin Kid, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Sean Maluda. Maybe OG Bleeder from back in the day in KnokX Pro. You remember that? You remember him, right? Maybe Count Black Pearl. Yeah, it might be even my son Samson. It might even be Samson. I don't know.
Hey, wait, is Samson there? Is Samson with you right now? Does Samson want to say a few words?
He's on Xbox. Come on. He hogs that freaking game up all the time. Like, you know, I buy it, he plays it. I buy it, he plays it. You know,
that's usually how it goes.
Yep.
I'm happy I got eyes on him. He's at home. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, the dynasty, the list goes on and on. You know, Mysteriosos, he's been with us for a minute, and such a class act. A wrestler that gets it. You know, a lot of people too respect this guy. Here's the way he carries himself in and out the locker room. So as far as with you know, my personal feelings with this cat here, he'll always be, you know, on my list when tours come up for KnokX Pro or whatever. You know, he knows that we're gonna always reach out to him as we did to this one here. So I'm excited. What the fans? Let's give that to the fans who they want to see.
Yeah,
I mean, which dynasty? They can name which dynasty.
That is a good question for the fans.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
We're asking, which Samoan dynasty do you want to see wrestle Mysteriosos on August the 8th?
Yep. And just to piggyback off that, it's going to be the dynasty versus dynasty match. Nowhere else you can see something like this. You know, I am wrestling. We respect the history of wrestling, and we're bringing it right into your home. You know.
Wow, dude. Yeah, that's great. That's a great title. You just came up with that, dynasty versus dynasty.
I've been hanging out with one Black Pearl a little long. So
who do we got? Oh,
that's dynasty versus dynasty. Here's a question. Here's a question.
Yeah.
So we're have with Tim. If you could do something differently as a career outside of wrestling, what would it be?
Something different outside of professional wrestling?
Yep. If you were to pick a career that's not professional wrestling, what would it be?
I'd probably open up a construction company.
Oh, really? The way you build up that domain, that makes sense.
Yeah. The domain up north when we went a year ago.
Well, I mean, you know, I love getting my hands dirty. You know, I love, visioning things. And, you know, my family member, they called me and Black Pearl, the Property Brothers. So, you know, my grandfather was a carpenter and also a preacher back in the day. So as a young kid, I was always, we were always around our grandfather. And, you know, God forbid that we hit the nail and the nail went crooked. Well, we get hit over the head with the side of the hammer. Right, you're bending the nail. So my grandfather was just like, you know, the nails cost money. He didn't care about my finger. I'm trying to learn about that. Oh, I became hitting that hammer very, very good. Very quick. Yeah. And so we, you know, I like to work with my hands. I like building things. You know, I also like going to, you know, like to thrifty nickel stores like Goodwill. You know, back in the day, you know, I didn't have too much. You know, my parents didn't have too much. We were always in church all the time. So, you know, my father was a construction worker, and, you know, at night I would go with him to Castle Lanes in the Bay Area, and he would play pool, and he would make extra money back in the day to be able to bring home, you know, to my family, to my siblings and myself. And so, you know, every hello, are you there?
Yes, sir. We're still here.
Okay, okay. So every Saturday, my mother, we would go shopping at the Goodwill, and we would get white Sunday clothes, and she would bring it home and she would wash it, and then after that, clean them up. You wear it to Sunday as if it was, new stuff. And so what I'm saying is, like, my father always taught me another man's junk is another man's treasure.
That's very true. That's absolutely true.
Another man's junk is another man's treasure. And these type of teachings, I'm not ashamed to say that we shopped at the Goodwill back in the day. I mean, all my siblings and so forth. And, it's really helped me, growing into, when I became this, into the industry, this big household name, it didn't faze me at all.
Right.
Well, what you see is what you get. I'm still at this time, I walk into a Goodwill store because I'm coming to look for stuff, that I can, salvage and build and maybe give it to another family that needs it. Or maybe I want to keep it, but the project of taking something old and making it new again is just, it's very satisfying to me to see the outcome from something old to something new. So
absolutely.
Those are my hobbies. So construction worker.
One man's junk is another man's treasure, which is true because people paid $500 for your thongs, right?
Wow. Wow. I don't think, that's junk in the trunk.
Yeah, Humza, what are you saying? I might be one of those people.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
hey, just a quick shout out to the chat. I'm seeing a lot of Samoan Werewolf from the Dynasty, and I'm seeing a lot of Sefa Fatus from the Dynasty. So I think those could be our top 2 picks right there because I'm seeing a lot of those being requested.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we need to run us a poll, maybe. Right? We should run us a poll, maybe, to see. I'd like to get what the fans want. To be able to try to make it happen, depending on their availability, the talent's availability, that we can try to at least make an attempt to make it happen, to give the fans at home, some more entertainment that they're wanting to see. Because I'm positive that they're tired of watching a lot of Netflix. I mean, how many times can you watch Netflix and wrestling what's out there? I like that KnokX Pro is shining the light on giving opportunity to a lot of independent workers that all around here in SoCal, in Los Angeles, also from the Bay Area. We have people reaching out all the way from Nevada and Arizona that's willing. These are independent workers, right? We all used to how they would travel. We've all done that before, travel 8-9 hours just to get to a booking, right? But to be able to, I'm feeling that, they're wanting to just, hey, I want to go where there's a booking, I can go right now. As long as if I'm, in those guidelines of, what's going on out there to be safe and so forth, I think that, we can give them that opportunity to be able to help them out. All right, who do we got here? Yeah. What do we got, Humza?
I feel like we got a new project for you to work on, because this is actually a really good question from Daryl.
Great.
Would you ever consider releasing a book? I mean, you have a lot of stories to tell.
Well, yes, I'm. It's, for me, everything is timing in my life. And, I've read a lot of different books that are out there from different wrestlers that are in the industry. And, it's just, I don't feel like I'm through living my life. Now it's maybe, yes, with professional wrestling, as far as being in the ring, being active. But I think that, there's so much more now that, my main priority is to catch up with my grandkids, to catch up with my kids and so forth. And, my father, my late mother passed away, but to spend more quality time with, my loved ones. And, I think that my experience with that all together, I would probably, then decide to write a book, because I wanted to be I would probably call the book, What's My Purpose?
I like that. What's my purpose? I want to read it right now.
You're with me every day, son. So
that's true. I should start writing it down and release it afterwards. I can be like, hey, I got this done for you. Just put your name on it. Let's make some money.
So I mean, it's a beautiful thing that we're able to get online, and I love this, that our reach with here being online. It's we can go as far as we want.
Right.
As long as they got a computer and they got Wi-Fi or whatever the case, now our reach is, it's even longer, for me. And I thank you boys for figuring this system out, how it works. I'm sure all the OGs in the industry, we never had computers. We had those big block phones, that dies out in 45 minutes. But now with social media and so forth, it's just, I love it, because it's my way to be able to, keep in touch with a lot of the fans out there and, answer. I love the fan engagement. It's like I'm talking to my family.
Yeah.
And so this platform here, I think we're going to be using this a lot more, So go ahead. Let's what do we got there? Another question we got.
Here's one. If there's someone in the business today that you haven't given a stink face to, who would you want to give it to?
Wow. That'll be an expensive fee because it's not I'm paying them to come give them. They would have to pay me to come give them a stink face. You see, let's get this straight. My buns is very, very fragile. I used to I knew the people that I didn't like to give the stink face to, because as soon as I give them a stink, you can feel the stubs on their beard. It puts marks on my buns. And so when it put marks on my buns now, that's like a $1 million ass you scrape it out. So I always try to keep it oilable. Put some coconut oil on it, keep it nice and fresh. So I mean, hey, it's not like Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian's ass, but hey, it's just as popular.
I think more popular.
Yeah. I hope it's
right there.
I just hope it's insured for the future. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, by all means, by all means. Hey, a lot of people get insurance on life insurance. I get insurance on my ass.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're coming close to the end of our hour, and I kind of like this. Okay. It's not a question, but I noticed a lot of people saying the same thing, and we all notice this too. Like, you're very much a good role model for everybody, and you naturally take people under your wing, whether they ask for it or not, and just give as much as you can because you've been there, you've seen everything. What makes you think that? What is it within you that wants to help everybody out, or why do you give so much as you do without any kind of wanting anything back?
God, it's the God in me. And so it's my core of my household as a young kid, raised around preachers and chiefs and noble women, respected women. It's the Fasamua. It's the God in me. It's to learn to love and respect each other, each one teach one, no matter which what color you are, what lifestyle you live, it's always best to be a nice person, and it's free. It's free just to lend a helping hand. And so, I'm not. Again, like I mentioned before, that's what really helped me with my career, is the core of who you are.
Right.
Because it's so easy for you to get caught up in all the celebrity status, get caught up in all the limousines, the high, top dinners, the movie stars that you're around, the red carpets. It is so easy to get caught up in that. But if you stay with your core and you understand that is just a job for the moment, for the time being, once I leave that, I'm back to my room. I'm back to where my safe haven's at. I'm right back into my nest. Now I can close the doors, be who I am and so forth. But when you're out there and so forth, it's just it's good for you to remain who you are. Remain who you are. Don't let the business change you. You control your business. You control your destiny of your life. You just be a simple, nice, down-to-earth, humble, hungry type of person. Learn to love and learn to keep peace.
Yes, sir. That's the way to live. And in fact, in this time, we could use a lot more of that nowadays. I feel like sometimes just just try to give one compliment a day. Just go out there and make sure someone's okay and just help each other out, because at the end of all this, we're going to be around each other still, and we're going to need to be loving each other after this as well. So just be a little kind. A little bit of kindness goes a long way.
Absolutely. Well, listen, before we go, listen, Humza, Daniel, what do we have coming up on Tuesday that we've been promoting from KnokX Pro Entertainment? The Twins?
Man.
Wow, those are one of my favorites.
I cannot wait for this one. I mean, you have the MK Twins making their debut in I Am Wrestling. It's going to be absolutely insane. Everyone has to tune in, because in this instance, you guys are going to see two future superstars at the first step of their career, and it's going to go quick because these two are unbelievably talented and they're so special. They rep a very special bloodline. That goes, from my pick on Saturday's show, but we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, Tuesday, the MK Twins in action. You are not going to want to miss this. On Facebook, Zoom, I Am Wrestling. It's going to be an unbelievable show, and it's just a little bit of what's to come over the next few months with I Am Wrestling. But I have one question for Kishi, if you don't mind me getting this in real quick. Kishi, you and Reno, you guys had a vision a handful of months back, and you guys were able to accomplish something that multi-billion-dollar studios weren't able to do. You guys were able to build this platform for wrestlers to work right now, and it's been unbelievable for the business. It's going to be unbelievable for the workers, and it gives people opportunities that are being stripped away from them right now. So I just want to ask you, how did you feel along the way of I Am Wrestling coming into fruition, from the moment you guys had this brilliant concept up until Tuesday when we were finally able to launch for the very first time?
Well, it was a team effort. Me and Reno, my cousin Black Pearl, we don't sleep. For years, we've always messed like this. We knew that we kind of have the gift of seeing things come a mile away. And when this pandemic hit, we've moved into a newer building. And so what do we do? Do we just, put our heads between our legs and just cry and just, okay, we got to wait till this turns around? Or do we just, figure it out like we've always done? And, this is the outcome, it's, we had a vision, we pulled the team together to utilize the resources that those that, want to be a part of this thing here. And, with our staff as entirely behind the scenes has been working 24/7. And, it's all out of, a team effort, and that, this thing has unfolded. And the team effort and the passion that we've put together to make this reality, it domino effects for, access opportunity for all independent wrestlers, because we think farther than just the domain. We think about the poor independent wrestlers. What are they doing right now? How are they making some type of living to be able to, pay the bills? And if you don't have that wrestling contract, if you don't have that big contract, or if you don't have a job in general. So, you have a lot of weekend wrestlers, they have their regular job, which we call shoot. And then you have their, on the weekends, on Saturdays, Sundays, they're professional wrestlers. And so, the goal was to be able to, build something to be able to comply with what's going on as far as with safety, with this pandemic, at the same time, able to put on entertainment for those that are watching at home from here and far, to be able to enjoy some type of entertainment of professional wrestling for, a lot of the independent wrestlers that are out there. So access, opportunity, exposure, KnokX Pro Entertainment, we're here.
Yes, sir. I like it. So looks like we're coming to the end of our first ever Rikishi Driver podcast. I think it went well. I had a great time. I'm sure the fans had a great time. I'm sure you guys had a great time, right? So before we sorry, go ahead, sir.
No, I just want to say this, listen, we talk about us keep moving forward. Mm-hmm. This is beautiful here, But I already got a vision that we need to build us a nice studio at the KnokX Pro domain, which we're already on the move. I'm already calling about the lumber and everything to be shipped and everything, where we're going to make us our own set over there. And I think we're going to put this thing on. I mean, this is cool, but you know, if we don't do it right, we're not touching it at all. Yeah. Right. And so fans, our next set, I can promise you this, our next set, we're going to be in a nice, real good, nice setup studio. So make sure you guys tune in.
The gift that keeps on giving, guys. I have to be the luckiest guy on earth right now, but I just want to let everybody know, please tune in on KnokX Pro Entertainment, both on Facebook and YouTube. Follow us so you can keep watching our shows, keep following this podcast. We're coming out with weekly content for you guys. So what is that, 4 or 5 times a week? We're coming out with content. So subscribe, watch, give us your feedback, because this is about fan interaction for us, right? At the end of that note, I just want to let everyone know where to find me. My name is Humza_Mania, Humza HUMZA_Mania, MANIA. Etzioni, where can the people find you?
I'm at ETZIONI, but you can see me every single Tuesday at #IamWrestling. We're going to be putting on the best matches you're going to see all year. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll see you in a couple of days on Tuesday. MK Twins, let's go.
Let's go. Awesome. And if I need to tell you guys where to find Rikishi, I'm not sure who you are and where you live. So, sir, why don't you go ahead and give us some last words and we'll sign off. Thank
you guys so much, man. Much love and respect. Thank you to all the fans that tuned in on last Tuesday, you know, for our live Facebook I Am Wrestling matches. And stay tuned. We got a lot more to come. God bless each and every one of you guys out there. The world, stay safe. Go.